Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, Winsday, Wednesday. And my hair. I love my hair. This is my workout hair. I just finished an amazing spin class at my studio in Fort Washington, Maryland. And I had to jump on here quickly because God literally interrupted the class. Literally, in the midst of me teaching spin class, he said, stop. And I was like, okay, God, I'll wrap it up at the, in the class. He said, stop. And so I stopped because I surrender all to God. And so in that stopping, he had me to minister to the people in the class about furlough. And so I wanted to come on here and share with you guys, even if you're not affected by the furlough, the fact that you're witnessing it is preparation. And so here's what God had me to share with my class, that furlough is an opportunity. You've been off 30 days. What have you done with the 30 days, 30 plus days at this point? What have you done with the 30 plus days that you've been off? You give 8 hours at the very least to your job. And so you've had 30 plus days, 8 days times 30 plus days of doing what? What have you done? And so he told me to tell them, don't get weary in well-doing. But here's the thing. Some of you all are weary because you're not doing anything. The word of God says, don't get weary in well-doing. That means you have to be doing something well. He said, because in due season, you'll reap if you don't faint. And some of you guys are fainting because you're not doing. God said that he will bless the work of your hand. What are you working? What are you working? God is not surprised by this furlough. He knew before the foundation of the world, before you were born, that the furlough would come in 2019, that it'll be beyond the normal days it usually is, that it'll be beyond 30 days. And so since it's not a surprise to God, it should not be a surprise to you. You've been warned. You just didn't adhere to the warning. God will never allow you to be sucker punched, but you didn't listen. Some of you guys was flat out disobedient and others were rather rebellious. I know for sure if you listen to me on a regular basis, you've been warned. You've been given opportunities to create additional streams of income, but you dismissed it. You looked at your job as being secure. You looked at your job as being the end all be all when God was saying, prepare. It's one way. It's not the only way. So what are you doing with this time that you've been given? The furlough is an opportunity. You think the furlough cake just happened? Absolutely not. They looked around to see what they had in their hand. They looked around to see how they could change their own situation. And as a result, God blessed the work of their hand. God is not a respecter of man, but he is a respecter of faith. Where is your faith? Is your faith in the government or is it in yourself? Is your faith in the world or is it in God? Where is your faith? God has given each and every one of us gifts and callings. Are you sitting on them or are you activating them? This is your opportunity. Do something with them. It's an opportunity. See the furlough as an opportunity. The word of God said the government will be on our shoulders, not us on the shoulders of the government. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't get weary in well-doing. Do something. If you're not doing something, that's why you're weary. Look in your inventory. What do you have in your hand? What do you have in your mouth? A lot of you guys are on social media constantly. You can't afford to be on social media right now. You need to be creating. You need to be declaring. You need to be dictating your day, not allowing your day to dictate you. What are you doing for God to bless? He said that I'll bless the work of your hand. What are you doing? Are you sitting at home? Are you waiting for the call? Are you waiting for an email? If so, you're out of order. Move. Do something. Activate. Execute. God has been telling each and every one of you that are on here now and that will listen to the replay, things to do, and you've been sitting on it. You've been disobedient. You've been rebellious. It stops here. It stops today. God has already given you the way of escape. Find it. You guys are going out to these museums, getting in the escape room. Here's your real escape room. Get out of there. Get out of comfort. Get out of mediocrity. Get out of being the same. It's time for change today. It is time for change today. Let God bless the work of your hand. Stop waiting on God. Stop waiting on people. Y'all have cars. Go out there and get on Instacart. Do something. You don't know what you'll do that'll lead you to the next thing that you're supposed to do. Do something. Move. Stop waiting. Move. This is a word from the Lord. This is not Tasha. You're not following Tasha. You're following my faith. You're following my faith. I am where I am and who I am as a direct result of my faith. I move. I execute when God says move without delay. Without delay. So stop delaying your greatness. Stop delaying your way of escape. God has already given each and every one the measure of faith. You don't see it because you're not doing anything with it. You got to move. You have to move. You have to move. He said faith without works is dead. And so flip that. Faith with works is alive. What are you doing? What are you doing? Take a self-introspect. See, what are you doing? Have you maximized each of these 30 plus days? Yes or no? There's no in between. There's no I did this and I didn't do that. It's yes or no. What have you done? Do something starting today. Stop waiting for somebody to do something for you. You got the goods. They need you on that job. So that same tenacity, that same resilience, that same relentlessness that you pour into that job every day, it's time to pour it into you. It's time to pour it into you. It's time to stand on the gifts and the callings that God has given you, for your families. Because clearly the government ain't worried about you. Clearly, the president isn't worried about you. They're not concerned about your household. They're not concerned about you eating. They're not concerned about you living. So who's going to be concerned if you're not? Take back what belongs to you. Your brilliance, your greatness. Take it back. Stand in it. Grow in it. Develop it. This is an opportunity. Stop complaining about it and do something. Shift your thinking about the furlough. Shift your thinking about the furlough. Get in place. Get in proper alignment. Some of y'all need to fast because what you're hearing is nonsense. Because that's what you're feeding yourself. You're looking at these reality shows when you should be looking to God, from whence cometh your help. When you should be listening to God. When you should be turning down your plate, basking in the presence of God. So some of you guys need to fast so you can hear God clearly. Because he's speaking. Some of y'all are praying and you're thinking that God ain't speaking, but he's speaking. You just can't hear him. You got so many distractions around you. You got so many things in your ear, and you're hanging out with the same people that's talking the same thing. Settle down. Clear your mind. Invite God in. God is waiting on your invitation. Yes, he'll never leave us nor forsake us, but he's waiting on your invitation. He gave human dominion over the earth. So you have to invite him in. He said, whatever you allow on earth, I'll allow in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth, I'll loose in heaven. Whatever you bind on earth, I'll bind in heaven. Some of y'all ain't binding nothing. You're loosing everything. The wrong thing. Complaining, weariness. Bind that instead of loosing it. Father, I bind whatever it is that's holding you back. And I loose your love. I loose your peace in this situation. I loose revelation. I loose clarity of vision. What's next? Y'all are looking at now, but you should be looking at what's next. Okay, God, this is here, but what's next? Where do we go from here? What do I do from here? He already knows. So stop leaning to your own understanding, guys. Invite God in and follow his guidance. Don't let another day go by of you not listening, of you not executing. Now is the time, and the person is you. Here's your opportunity to do it. Have an amazing day. Take advantage of these 8 hours that you're off today and execute. Execute the plan, the visions, the calls that God has given you. Not that he's going to give you. God has already given it to you. Take advantage of these 8 hours today that you would have been at work doing something for somebody else. It's time for you to stand up for you. It's time for you to stand up for generations to come. It's time for you to build your legacy and stop building someone else's. It's your time. Give yourself permission to do it. Peace.